What happened to Reddy Fox? Check chapter 11 of the Adventures of Prickly Porky. Reddy Fox wished that with all his might he'd kept his tongue. He'd kept that tongue still about not being afraid to meet the strange creature that had given Peter Rabbit such a fright. When he had been boasting that he would stop and he would find all about it, and who it had happened to meet up that kind, he didn't have the least intention of doing anything of that. But he was just idly boasting and nothing more. You see, Reddy Fox is one of the greatest boasters in the Green Forest, or on the whole Green Meadow. He likes to strut around and talk big. But like most boasters, he's a coward at heart. Unc' Bill Possum knew this. And that is why he dared Reddy to go the next morning to the foot of the hill where Prickly Porky the porcupine lives. And when Uncle Billy himself claimed to have seen the strange creature without heads or tails or legs, which had so frightened Peter, Unc' Billy had said that he would be there himself in a tree where he could see whether Reddy really did come or not. So now there was nothing for Reddy to do but to go and make good his foolish boast. If a strange creature should appear, you see, a number of the little people had heard him boasting, and they'd heard old Uncle Billy dare him. Uncle Billy dared him to be there, and he knew that if he didn't make good on that dare, he would never hear the end of it, and he'd be called a coward by everybody. So Reddy didn't sleep at all well that afternoon, and when at dusk, he started to hunt for his supper. He found that he'd lost his appetite. And instead of hunting, he spent most of the night, in trying to think of some good reason for not appearing at Prickly Porky's hill at daybreak. But think as he would, he couldn't think of a single excuse that sounded reasonable. If only Bowser the Hound wasn't chained up at night, I could give him to chase me, and then I would have the best kind of excuse. He thought that. Oh, yes, I could get a good excuse from Bowser's Hound. But he knew that Bowser was chained. Nevertheless, he did go over to Farmer Brown's dooryard to make sure. And it was, as he expected, Bowser was chained. So Reddy sneaked away without even looking at the Farmer Brown's hen house. He didn't see that the door had carelessly been left open, and even if he had, it would have been made no difference. He hadn't a bit of appetite. No, sir. No, sir, he didn't have a bit of appetite. Reddy Fox wouldn't have eaten the fattest chicken there was if it had been right before him. All he could think of was that queer story that Peter Rabbit and Uncle Billy Possum had told him. And the scrape that he'd gotten him in so by foolishly boasting. He was, oh, what a foolish thing to do. He just wandered about restlessly, waiting for daybreak, and hoping that something would turn up to prevent him from going over to Prickly Porky's hill. He didn't dare told old Granny Fox about it. He knew just what she would have said. It seemed if he could hear her sharp little voice, those very words. Serves you right for boasting about something you don't know anything about. How many times have I told you that no good comes from boasting? A wise fox never goes near strange things till he's found out all about them. That's the only way to keep yourself out of trouble and to live to a ripe old age. Wisdom is nothing but knowledge, and a wise fox always knows what he is doing. So Reddy, he wandered around all that long night. It seemed if it would never pass. That night was so long, yet he wished it would last forever. The more he thought about it, the more afraid he grew. And at last he saw the first beams of jolly round Mr. Sun creeping up through the Green Forest. The time had come. He had to choose between making his boast good or being called a coward by everybody. So very, very, very slowly, Reddy Fox began to walk toward the hill where Prickly Porky lives. The end of chapter 11. God is great all the time, all the time. God is great.